My ex-wife took everything in the divorce, then karma knocked on her door. I never believed in karma, not really. I always thought it was just something people said to make themselves feel better when life wasn't fair. I figured bad things happened to good people, and good things happened to bad people, and there was no cosmic scorekeeper keeping track. Then I watched my ex-wife lose everything, and I mean everything, the house, the cars, the money, the new husband, all of it, gone in a matter of months. And I couldn't help but think that somewhere, somehow, the universe was balancing the scales. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me go back, way back, to the day my world fell apart. My name is Robert, I'm 58 years old. For most of my adult life I worked as a construction foreman. I spent 35 years on job sites. I built houses, I built schools, I built office buildings. I worked in the rain, I worked in the heat. I worked through the winter when my hands were so cold I couldn't feel them. I wasn't rich, but I made a decent living. I provided for my family. I put food on the table, I paid for my daughter's braces, I made sure we had a roof over our heads. My ex-wife Vanessa was a stay-at-home mom for most of our marriage. That was fine with me. She wanted to raise our daughter, Chloe. She wanted to be there for the school plays and the soccer games. I worked long hours so she could do that. I never complained. I never asked her to get a job. I wanted her to be happy. We met when I was 22 and she was 20. She was beautiful. She had long dark hair and the kind of smile that could light up a room. She was funny. She was charming. Everyone who met her loved her. I was head over heels. I proposed after 6 months. We got married a year later. We were young. We were in love. We thought we had the rest of our lives figured out. Chloe was born 2 years after we got married. She was the best thing that ever happened to me. I remember holding her in the hospital. She was so tiny, so fragile. I promised myself right then that I would do everything I could to give her a good life. And I did. I worked my tail off. I took every overtime shift I could. I missed birthdays, I missed holidays, I missed school events. I was always working, but I was building a future, I was building a life. Vanessa started to change somewhere along the way. I don't know exactly when. It was gradual, like a slow leak in a tire. You don't notice it until you're riding on the rims. She started wanting more money, more things, a bigger house, a nicer car, expensive clothes, designer handbags. She would see something on TV or in a magazine and she would tell me she needed it. I would say, honey, we can't afford that. And she would say, well, maybe you should work harder. That was the first time she said it. Maybe you should work harder, like I wasn't already killing myself, like I wasn't already coming home exhausted every night. I started to feel like I was never enough, like no matter how much I did, it was never going to be enough for her. She started spending more money. She would go shopping and come back with bags full of things we didn't need. She would go out to lunch with her friends and spend $100 on a meal. She would book vacations without telling me. I'd come home and she'd say, we're going to Cancun next month. I already bought the tickets. Vanessa, we can't afford that, I'd say. We'll figure it out, she'd say. You always figure it out. And I would figure it out. I would pick up extra shifts. I would take on side jobs. I would work weekends. I would do whatever it took to keep her happy. But I was burning out. I was exhausted. I was starting to resent her. Chloe noticed. She was 12 when she came to me and said, Dad, you look tired. Are you okay? I told her I was fine. I told her not to worry. I didn't want to burden her with my problems. I wanted her to be a kid. I wanted her to enjoy her childhood. The breaking point came when Chloe was 15. Vanessa had been dropping hints about moving. She wanted a bigger house in a better neighborhood. She wanted to send Chloe to private school. She wanted us to have more. I sat her down. I said, Vanessa, we can't afford any of this. We are living paycheck to paycheck. We are in debt. We need to be responsible. She looked at me like I had just told her the sky was green. We can't afford it. Robert, you work all the time. You must be making good money. Vanessa, the money goes to bills, the mortgage, the car payments, the credit cards. We don't have extra. We have nothing saved. She didn't say anything. She just stared at me. And then she said, maybe I should start looking for a job. I felt a wave of relief. That would help, even something part-time. She didn't get a job, not then, not for another year. She kept spending, she kept wanting, she kept resenting me for not providing enough. When Chloe turned 17, Vanessa moved out. She said she needed space. She said she needed to think. She moved in with her sister. She left Chloe with me. I was devastated. I tried to convince her to come back. I tried to fix things. I went to marriage counseling. I offered to do whatever it took. But she had already made up her mind. She filed for divorce a few months later. The divorce was brutal. I didn't want to fight. I didn't want to drag things out. I just wanted it to be over, but Vanessa wanted everything, and she had a good lawyer. She claimed I had been abusive. It wasn't true. I had never laid a hand on her. I had never raised my voice to her, but the accusations were enough to sway the judge. She got the house, she got the car, she got half of my retirement, she got alimony, she got child support, she got everything. I moved into a small apartment, a one-bedroom place on the other side of town. I couldn't afford anything else. I was paying her so much money that I was barely scraping by. Chloe was upset. She wanted to stay with me. She didn't want to live with her mother, but the court gave Vanessa custody. I got visitation every other weekend, holidays. It wasn't enough. I missed her every day. Vanessa remarried within a year. Her new husband was a real estate developer, a wealthy guy. He had money, he had status, he had everything Vanessa had always wanted. She moved into a mansion, she drove a luxury car, she wore expensive clothes, she posted photos of her new life on social media. She looked happy, she looked like she had won. I, on the other hand, was struggling. I was working the same job, I was living in the same small apartment, I was still paying her alimony, I was watching my daughter grow up from a distance. I felt like I had been erased, like my years of sacrifice meant nothing, like I had been thrown away. Chloe graduated from high school. I went to her graduation. Vanessa and her new husband were there. They sat in the front row, I sat in the back. Chloe gave her speech. She thanked her mother. She thanked her stepfather. She didn't mention me. I told myself it was okay. I told myself she was just young. I told myself she didn't know any better. But it hurt more than I can describe. A few years went by. Chloe went to college. She became a nurse. She got married. She had children. I was invited to the wedding. I went. I sat in the back row again. Vanessa and her husband sat in the front. I watched my daughter walk down the aisle. I watched her smile at her mother. I watched her hug her stepfather. I stood in the corner during the reception. I felt like a stranger, like I didn't belong. After the wedding, I drove home alone. I cried in my car. I had never cried so hard in my life. I stopped trying after that. I stopped calling. I stopped visiting. I figured she didn't want me in her life. I figured she had made her choice. Then last year I got a phone call. It was from an unknown number. I almost didn't answer. "Hello," I said. "Robert, it's Vanessa." I didn't recognize her voice. It was shaky. It was broken. It wasn't the confident, arrogant voice I remembered. "What do you want?" I asked. "Please, I need to talk to you. Can I come over?" I was stunned. Vanessa never asked to come over. She never wanted to be in my space. "Fine," I said, "you have my address." She showed up at my apartment an hour later. She looked terrible. She had aged 10 years. Her hair was thin. Her skin was pale. She was wearing old clothes. She looked like she hadn't slept in weeks. I opened the door. She stood there, looking at me with tears in her eyes. "Can I come in?" she asked. I stepped aside. She walked in. She sat on my couch. She started crying. "Robert, I need your help," she said. "I have nowhere else to go." I sat across from her. I didn't say anything. I waited. "Richard left me," she said. "He cleaned out our accounts. He took everything, the house, the cars, the money. He left me with nothing. He left me with debt. I have nowhere to go, no one to help me." I felt a strange mix of emotions. Part of me felt sorry for her. Part of me felt vindicated. Part of me wanted to laugh. "Your new husband left you?" I asked. She nodded. "He had a secret bank account. He had been hiding money for years. He had a mistress. He left me for her. He didn't even look back." I remembered that feeling, the feeling of being discarded, the feeling of being worthless. I remembered it well. "Vanessa, I don't have anything," I said. "I live in a one-bedroom apartment. I work the same job I've always worked. I have nothing to give you." "Please, Robert," she said. "I know I don't deserve your help. I know I treated you badly. I know I took everything from you. I was selfish. I was greedy. I was blind. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." I looked at her. I saw the woman I had once loved, the woman I had built a life with, the woman who had broken my heart. "Your daughter is a nurse now," I said. "She has a nice house. She has a husband. She has money." Vanessa looked at me. "Chloe hasn't spoken to me in 2 years. She cut me out of her life. She said I was toxic. She said I was a bad mother. She wants nothing to do with me." I knew that feeling too, the feeling of being rejected by your own child. "I'm sorry, Vanessa," I said. "I can't help you. I don't have the resources. I don't have the energy. I have been trying to rebuild my life for years. I don't want to go back to where I was." She nodded. She stood up. She walked to the door. "I understand," she said. "I just wanted to apologize for everything. I was wrong. I was so wrong." She left. I sat in my apartment alone, thinking about everything that had happened. A few weeks later, I got a call from Chloe. She was crying. "Dad," she said, "I need to tell you something." "What happened?" I asked. "It's Mom, she's sick. She has cancer, stage 4, she doesn't have much time." I felt the air leave my lungs. Cancer, stage 4. "She called me," Chloe said. "She apologized for everything. She said she was sorry for the way she treated us. She said she wanted to make things right before she died." I didn't know what to say. I was still processing. "She asked if you would come see her," Chloe said. "She said she wants to see you. She said she needs to tell you something." I went to the hospital the next day. Vanessa was in a small room. She was connected to machines. She looked tiny. She looked fragile. She looked nothing like the woman who had destroyed my life. She smiled when I walked in. "Thank you for coming," she said. I sat down beside her bed. "Chloe told me you were sick. I'm sorry, Vanessa." She shook her head. "Don't be sorry, I deserve this. I really do." "Nobody deserves cancer," I said. "I deserve something," she said. "I was a terrible wife. I was a terrible mother. I was selfish. I was greedy. I ruined our family." I took her hand. "Vanessa, it's okay. I forgave you a long time ago." She looked at me. She had tears in her eyes. "How can you forgive me? I took everything from you." "I don't know," I said. "I just do. I couldn't carry that anger anymore. It was eating me alive, so I let it go." She squeezed my hand. "There's something I need to tell you, something I should have told you years ago." I waited. "The house," she said, "the one I took from you, I didn't take it. Richard took it. He had my lawyer. He made me sign everything over to him. He was the one who took everything. He used me. He used me to get to you." I was confused. "I don't understand." She took a deep breath. "Richard was your boss's son, the construction company you worked for. He knew your father. He had a grudge against your family. He wanted to destroy you. He used me to do it. He made me think I wanted all those things. He manipulated me. He brainwashed me. I didn't even realize it until it was too late." I stared at her. "My boss's son, the construction company, the same company I had worked for all those years, the same company that had paid me a salary, the same company that had laid me off a few years ago. The company was in trouble," she said. "Richard knew. He took everything from me to cover his debts. He left me with nothing." I sat back in my chair. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to think. My whole life had been a lie. "Robert, I'm so sorry," she said. "I was too blind to see what he was doing. I thought he loved me. I thought he was giving me the life I deserved, but I was just a pawn in his revenge." I looked at her. I saw the pain in her eyes. I saw the regret. I saw the brokenness. "I forgive you," I said. "I forgive you for everything." She started crying. She held my hand. "I don't deserve your forgiveness." "It's not about what you deserve," I said. "It's about what I need. I need to let this go. I need to move on with my life, and I can't do that if I'm holding on to all this anger." She nodded. Thank you for being the better person." She passed away a few weeks later. Chloe and I were with her. She went peacefully. She was surrounded by the people who loved her. After the funeral, Chloe and I started talking. We started reconnecting. She apologized for shutting me out. She said she was confused. She said she didn't know who to believe. We started spending more time together. I got to know my grandchildren. I watched them grow. I celebrated their birthdays. I went to their soccer games. I was a part of their lives. Richard was arrested last month. He was charged with fraud. He was charged with embezzlement. He was charged with a dozen other crimes. He lost everything. His money, his house, his reputation. He's sitting in a prison cell right now, and he's not getting out anytime soon. I don't feel satisfaction. I don't feel like I won. I just feel like justice was served. The scales finally balanced. I'm not angry anymore. I'm not bitter. I have my daughter back. I have my grandchildren. I have a new life. I moved out of that apartment. I bought a small house near Chloe. I fixed it up myself. I planted a garden. I watch the birds in the morning. I go to sleep feeling peaceful. I still think about Vanessa sometimes. I think about the young woman I fell in love with. I think about the mother of my child. I think about the woman who was manipulated and used. I don't hate her anymore. I don't hate anyone. Karma came knocking on her door, but it came knocking on mine too. Not in the way I expected, not in the way I wanted, but it came, and it taught me something important. Holding onto anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It doesn't work. It only hurts you. Letting go is the only way to heal. I've let go. I've moved on. I've found my peace. And that's enough. That's more than enough. If this story touched your heart, please subscribe to Family Honor Files for more unforgettable stories of family, courage, forgiveness, justice, and second chances. Your support helps us bring more meaningful stories to people who need them. Thank you for being part of the Family Honor Files community.